We'll go ahead and start this agenda. We've got a long agenda ahead of us tonight, so kind of interesting. So item number 1, consider approving the minutes held from September 23rd.
I make a motion to approve those minutes.
Motion made, second by David. All in favor? Next one is Gregory Rabb.
Greg Wade.
Present. Sorry.
So, I don't know if you remember, I mean, some of you weren't here, some of you were. Back in, I think it was 2007, Greg was not allowed to haul in his waste at the transfer station, Gregory's disposal. And so Greg met with me week before last, I think. And,
right.
And he wanted to have the opportunity to come in and speak to the council and clear his name. So given that, Greg, I'm going to hand the floor right over to you, and you can have a conversation with the council.
Okay. As Gary said, I did come in a week and a half ago, approximately, and talk with Gary. My son was with me, Kyle. He operates Lakeside Disposal. And the two of us came in and we had a proposal for the town. Wanted to run it by Gary about possibly doing some kind of partnership with the transfer station, not the landfill, but the transfer part of it. That would be mutually beneficial to both of us. Gary wasn't real enthused about it because there's some hurdles involved. I think it's been tried before with fiberite, and it was a no-go. So, we were there talking, and then Gary says, well, he says, you're not even permitted to come into the transfer station. And I said, yeah, that's right, So I decided to come down tonight and talk to you guys. As I told Gary, back in '07, I was asked not to come in the transfer station anymore because the town of Oakland has a 3 strikes and you're out policy. And we had, I was younger at the time. I mean, it was 13 years ago and more foolish, and I thought I could get away with it. And for that, I'm sorry, and I freely admit that I did bring in out-of-town rubbish. It's a little more complicated, but I'm not going to go into the specifics of it. But I'm just saying that I did it. I admit it. I'm truly sorry for it. And I paid a big price for 13 years. I haven't been able to haul in. Took a big financial loss because of it. So I just come before you to see if there's any possibility of us being able to do business again, for lack of a better word, and as far as home material and we do service Buddy's Groceries. They're probably one of your biggest producers in town. The corner store, the House of Pizza, and there might be 1 or 2 other businesses. And then we just simply haul it in the water, but pay them for it. We're not excluded from hauling in town, we're just excluded from going to the landfill. So I just soon give you guys the revenue and haul it to the landfill. Kyle hauls residential. And then, if I did haul Buddies or any businesses, that would be paid for, because under the ordinance, commercial waste is paid for. That's my understanding. Is that correct?
Well, actually, commercial waste isn't accepted up there, period.
Oh, okay, all right, then.
As far
Well,
as
okay.
MSW, garbage going on the tipping path, we don't accept it.
Okay. So then that's not a consideration. My son Kyle, he operates Lakeside. That's a separate entity. He owns it, he runs it, he bills, he does all the billing, and he completely handles it. So I would like to be able to haul residential in Oakland under Gregory's. And if there's any, and that's simply put, if there's any questions, feel free.
Do you know how many residential accounts you have in Oakland, sir?
I don't have any.
Just Lakeside?
My son does.
Yeah, I just didn't know if you had any
So
residential.
let's, can I speak for
Go
this?
ahead.
Let's talk about that a little bit. Kyle is the general manager, correct, of your company?
That's correct.
Okay. And Lakeside is a truck that Kyle had originally bought, but you guys really are one operation. I mean, let's cut right through it. We're being honest right now. So, I mean...
No, I guess the answer would be no to that. Because, we were very thoughtful and specific in how we set his business up. And his Lakeside Disposal is a separate entity. They're not even in our accounting system. He does all his own billing. He pays a man to pick up rubbish. He owns his own truck. It's completely separate.
Okay. So basically what you're asking the council to consider is allowing one of your trucks to come into the town of Oakland to pick up residential trash,
That's correct.
only residential trash from the town of Oakland, and haul it to the transfer station, flying under the Gregory's disposal flag.
That's correct.
So let me ask you this, is Kyle's truck going to be functioning anymore in Oakland, or is that going to go
It
away?
would. I imagine it would. I mean, it would. We're not going to sell the truck, so I don't think things would change a whole lot. I do want to put all my cards on the table. On January 1st of 2022, which is about 14 months, Kyle is going to be buying out Gregory's Disposal. And it would be easier for him to mold it in together. It'd be easier accounting-wise and logistics.
That's all I had for questions, I just wanted to figure that out.
So Kyle is hauling to Oakland now,
That's correct.
and you have no accounts here.
That's correct. The only accounts I have here
Are commercial.
are commercial.
So what's the gain?
The gain is I would have the ability to have accounts here, residential accounts. I've got people calling me all the time. And the other thing, the other gain would be for Kyle, when he takes over Gregory's, he'd be able to mold it in together.
Does your son have the ability to pick up new accounts?
He does.
So you're going to be competing with him,
Yeah, right now I am, yeah.
but not for residential.
Not for residential.
But you would be competing.
Oh,
with
no,
him.
no, because he's gonna buy Gregory's.
No, right now, if you have permission to bring your truck into the Oakland transfer station right now with residential, you'll be competing with him for those residential customers.
Yeah, more or less. I mean, technically. But we're father and son, so I mean, it's not like we're gonna be dog-eat-dog or anything
Well,
like that.
but if you want to, I just don't understand, I guess, yet. You'd only be bringing in residential trash, but you have no residential clients right now.
That's correct.
You'd have to go out and advertise, pick up residential customers, and he's going to be trying to get those same customers. Because he wants to grow Lakeside as well, doesn't he?
Yes, I guess the answer is yes.
So, it doesn't seem like it's you're not going, how many customers do you expect, and I'm not trying to be critical, I'm
Oh,
just curious, how many customers do you think you'll be picking up in the next couple of months to take trash to?
Probably not a whole lot. I mean, it's a gradual process.
So you're gonna bring your truck into the Oakland site with 2 customers worth of trash next month. Is it worth it?
Might not be. But if I get up, you know, if I strike a deal with my son and buy his business, right,
But
then it would be worth it. Or if I get a dozen or better customers, it'd be worth the trip.
But until you get the dozen customers, you're gonna have 1 or 2 customers right now who want you to take your trash to the Oakland site, but you only have 2 customers worth of trash in your truck. And I'm just not seeing that as very economic for you, because you can't have any other trash in the truck then, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I got something I'd like to add to this, though. What's Kyle driving for equipment right now? He bought the old Volvo, wore out Packer.
Bought the old Waterville Volvo.
What kind of
Which he-
lifespan has that truck got left in it?
I mean, I've got a truck that's 33 years old and still running strong, but.
So I guess my question to that.
I would say if I was to make a guess, another 10 years.
Okay, so you're not worried about his truck wearing out and having to buy a new truck between now and the time he buys your business out?
No. And then he also has a 1-ton,
Yeah, I know it's like that.
dump body. And basically what he does is, he runs the 1-ton every other week and does just the hand stops. And then on the odd week, he runs the packer, because he does have some 2-yard containers at folks' homes.
If the council does permit this to take place, you understand we will be checking your votes.
Oh, yeah, I invite you
Because
to.
the thing is, that, you know.
Yeah, no, that's not a problem. I don't want to bring it, you know, things have changed a lot over the years. We're not the same company we were back then. We've grown quite a bit. As a company, I've grown, I'd like to think I've grown as a person. I just don't do, as a company, it wouldn't be feasible for us to take that kind of risk, because there'd be more to lose than to gain. You know, what little we would gain by sneaking in rubbish, the loss would be to get shut out.
Right.
You know, so that there'd be more loss. And then personally, I just don't want to operate dishonestly. You know, I really don't.
So I just want to remind the council, Greg has been banned from the transfer station for 13 years. And I personally, this is your decision, I personally don't have an issue with allowing him to continue to haul trash or start back up hauling trash in there as long as it's Oakland residents. We have no reason not to trust the fact that he's not going to follow the rules and regulations, and we'll be checking it. This is your call. That's just my thought on it. I've known Greg for, I used to haul my stuff when I had the grocery store. And, you know, and one thing I know for sure is when people are in business for themselves, they have to make money where they can make it. And unfortunately, he's admitted that he's made it on the backs of taxpayers. And because of that, we've outed him for 13 years.
Sean?
Can you give us a little background of how many residential haulers we take at the dump? How do we
Well,
charge
see,
them?
yeah, right now we've got Gene Richard with his Patriot trash removal, and Kyle, I think, are the only 2. We've got a small operator out on East Pond Road who I don't think much is happening there.
Yeah, I think you get thrown in jail.
Yeah, the majority, yeah, that's right. Majority of the people who haul trashing up there are Oakland residents. I mean, just hauling it themselves. You know, Gene is busy. He can't, I mean, there's certainly some room in here to service the customers.
And what's a typical, how do they apply or get permission to do that? So if a new company wanted to start up, what would they have to do?
Well, all Greg would have to do is he would establish new accounts. I would assume he's gonna get Kyle's accounts, but this is gonna roll into it. You're gonna see Gregory's truck for the advertising. That's my idea of what's gonna happen here. So if that happens, Kyle will retire his trucks and you'll see Gregory trucks hauling in here. We will be checking them.
Is that, that's gonna happen immediately, you think?
I think it's gonna happen.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the answer would be.
Right away?
Yes. Yeah.
So basically, you're gonna merge right away.
I don't know, I haven't even struck a deal with Kyle, or, you know, I mean, but I would assume if this passes, Kyle and I could come to an agreement, you know, that I would have to pay him for his accounts. You know, just like when he started his business, he paid me for my accounts because they have monetary value. And he bought my residential accounts. He bought a truck. He set up his accounting and he started hauling their material. And then over the years, he's gained accounts. So those are his accounts. And he's not going to just give them to me, you know. I mean,
So the reality is, you're just really requesting that Gregory can haul residential trash,
Yeah.
and you'll buy accounts from him. And pick up
if I choose to.
But that's most.
I'd like to have the option of doing that.
Is that what you see as the most likely scenario?
I'll make a motion that we allow Gregory's and/or Lakeside's already here, to haul residential,
Oakland residential.
Oakland residential rubbish to our landfill, our transfer station. I've dealt with him before, always been very good to me and my business, so that's what I'd like to make a motion. Second, all in favor? Good luck, sir, on your business, whatever way you turn.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Chairman, I'd like to mention that I think we should have our transfer station manager aware and see how much extra work it is for him to check on this.
Yeah, I've been thinking about